Hey, namaste, you too, Master Lady Kira Ra here. And we are live today. And I'm coming to you with this beautiful white rose in my hand, standing right outside the pyramid here at Tosa Blue Mountain, the beautiful Compadres Mountains behind me. You can see by my hair, it's an incredible, beautiful, light, breezy day. And in this moment, as we are here for the January predictions, to really dive into everything that January is going to show us, it felt appropriate to begin with this beautiful white rose. And, I was looking at the petals of this rose and really just want to share it with all of you right now because it's offering us this energy, this aroma of birth and the energy of illumination and the energy of light. The month of January, this month that we are in right now, in this extraordinary moment of linear time, is all about consciousness itself revealed. And I want you to really breathe that in. And as you do, I'm going to move my camera just a little bit because I want you to really take in the majesty of all of what's going on here today. There we are. The main show today needs to be this, right? Because this is that moment. This is consciousness itself. When we can come forward and say yes to the harmony of being together outside of the perception of the limitation. So I'm going to jump right in. This is 22 minutes. And if you're not caught up yet with all of the 2025 revelations, make sure at my YouTube channel, Official Shri and Kira, that you're going into that live tab and you'll see where those have been broadcast. And similarly, today is really just about January. And what I would encourage you to do is catch up with Expanding Consciousness, my weekly show. And really, especially the last episode on jealousy, greed, and competition, because that is the energy that's trying to weave its way in right now. So as you are here, let's bring our hands to our heart. And before I dive in, I'm going to show you the calendar first, and then we're going to go to the Ascended Numerology. But let's begin with our hands on our heart. And as we do, as your hands are on your heart, I want you to take in this beautiful, deep, nourishing Ave breath through the nose. That's breathing in Ave. And exhaling, sa. And consciously focusing on igniting that torus field of creation that you are sustaining through 0 point energy when you connect into the depth of your divine awareness. And as in January, consciousness itself is birthing, then are we not at the moment where something as simple as an Ave Sa breath gives us this instantaneous connection with consciousness? So let's do that one more time. Are you ready? We're going to bring our hands to our heart and we're going to breathe in through our nose, just feeling the energy of that word Ave, breathing in Ave, exhaling Sa. Bringing your hands to your heart again and notice your heart. Notice what you're noticing. Notice that if you are indeed that prayer wheel, if you are holding that wheel of conscious awareness, then everything that's spinning here, physical, mental, emotional, the spiritual, all of that is yours to command rather than be whipsawed by it. And January is providing that cover for growth. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you right now. Forgive me with the sun. I'm having a hard time finding my, let me find my, there it is. Okay. There we go. So what you're gazing at right now, this is the calendar for January. Now, some of you have been asking me, hey, Kira, where is the guide? Where's the alchemical transformation guide for 2025? Well, bringing my hands to my heart, I have been strongly guided that it would be irresponsible to do things more than in the current moment, 30 days, meaning that we are at such a profound moment of the activated energy of the law of instantaneous manifestation that the greatest gift we can give ourselves is to stay right here and now, to remember the past is just that, the past. The future is in our hands. And the only place that the past keeps trying to recreate itself is in our mind. So when you look at January, what you're noticing here, if you allow your eyes to relax right into really looking at kind of like the Wednesday row would help you find it. you're going to notice there you are, that eternal presence, that which is, I am as you are, the space where we are all one. And from there, when we remember ourselves into this formed awareness, we generate a torus field. And you see that emanation there? And in January right now, it is that experience. This is an ascended consciousness energy month of experience. And December was very powerful awareness. November was choice. And the last time we were in an experience month was October. So consider that as we sit here right now in this experience energy, what we're saying to ourselves is, everything that I'm trying on my life, I'm trying on this way of being, I've arrived. It is a moment where, look at the numerological code, and I'm going to dive into the numerology in just a moment. And you see that the numerological code right now is the 4 plus the infinite. That means we are at that moment of perfect balance, right? I'm going to stop the share just for 1 second because I really want you to feel this, because this is important. So we have arrived at a moment in January where the intersection has happened. So if this is the intersection right here, and if right here is that miracle point, to meet at that point is a miracle. And that's what's happening right now, is miracle reconnections. Those that eons and eons, or energies that have prevented you from ever coming together, are coming together. This is why communities are coming together. This is why here at Tosa Blue Mountain, we have this incredible group of people that are building homes, volunteers that are living on campus, people that are coming for retreats. Why? Because we are birthing a new harmony. We are birthing a new way of living and being together. And in that, we are all sitting at that round table. And at the round table, you arrive with the mastery of who you are. You claim a seat. You don't ask for a seat. You come in without the claiming through the ego, which will immediately allow the seat to not even be available. You walk in with sincerity, love, and presence, in the awareness that we are right now, right here. If you choose to be, that's the prayer wheel, right? This is it. And so in this miracle moment of those that are coming together that would have never had that opportunity, how can you do anything other than celebrate that intentional communities are birthing? I'm watching children here being raised by extraordinary parents, giving them teaching skills. We teach in our gardens. We teach in the mountain. We teach in the breath of the wind. These children are so wise beyond their years, and they're not constrained or conformed. They're free to remember who they are in the safety and the security of those who are here shepherding with conscious awareness. Imagine that world, because that's what we're living here. And I know that's what's in your heart, or you wouldn't be here right now. Are you skeptical? Are you pessimistic? Then that's why you're here as well. Because the yoga of self-ascension is as unique as you are. Gandhi, there are as many paths as there are beings. And in this moment, when we can gaze into our heart, I'm going to put up the January calendar for you again. Forgive me, I got to see my mouse. Oh, forgive me, guys. Give me 1 second. Oh, can't find it. Oh, goodness gracious. Kira. Let's see. There it is. Sorry, guys. Okay. So as you're gazing at the January calendar again, I want you to look at what we've just been through. So on Friday, and this is really powerful, go back and look at the past few days. How have they flowed for you? What have you been noticing? So this past Friday, January 3rd, we finally cleared all of 2024 as far as a culminating moment of recognition. And what that means is that, yes, New Year occurred Tuesday, Wednesday, but it was really Friday when kind of like that energy and everything that was hanging out, maybe things that were unresolved, things that needed to be happening, all of that energy came in. And Friday was a very intense day. I know a lot of you listening, if you're catching this in real time, you're probably remembering last Friday. It had very fascinating energies running through the whole day. But where are we right now? Well, in the moment that we will encapsulate into this extraordinary blessing of being together, whether you're receiving this live in the future, in whatever realm of potentiality. Here we sit on Sunday, January 5th, gazing at this month ahead. And what we first notice is that we have this beautiful new moon happening on the 13th. And this is the new moon of manifested potentiality. And I'm going to show this to you in just a second. And what I find fascinating is that once again this month, I have been called to physically be in both the land of the ice and the land of the flame. And I will literally be leaving for my journey up to the land of the ice on the new moon of manifested potentiality, which I find very powerful. And so I want to invite you to notice, where are you being called? What is happening? Whether it's physically, whether it's spiritually, it doesn't matter. Where in the five medicines are you being called? Because this week of January is preparation, putting it all in place, getting everything ready. It's going to be one of those, like, do this, do this, do this, do this, because when that new moon comes in, and remember, it really begins on the 11th. So starting the 11th, you're going to start feeling this very powerful energy. And then, of course, on January 12th, that's going to amplify, moving into this manifested potentiality. So be very mindful, joyful, and peaceful about what's beginning in your life, what's expanding in your life, what's ready to release and be grateful for in your life. Because that's what this week is doing. And I go back to my white rose, right? That's why I started with it. And what's so powerful is look at the month end. We're going to be moving through this month. We're going to be dealing with all that energy of the new moon. That's going to be particularly potent through the 21st. And then on the 22nd, we're going to start transiting into this extraordinary full moon. And this full moon is the sustaining choice full moon. So I want you to really feel that by the end of this month, it's like everything bursts and comes alive. And I want to go back before I put this down, and I'm going to stop the share on the calendar in just a moment and move to the numerology. But if you look at the 3rd, and as I mentioned, that release of the Mercury retrograde. So here's what's important to know. Right now, January and February are actually they're like the foundation that 2024 created, and it's setting. When you pour a foundation, then it's got to set, and you have to kind of watch it and cure it, maybe put some water on the cement. Well, that's what's going on here, is that right now in our potentiality, 2024 itself, with the release of that Mercury retrograde on the 3rd, it kind of set itself aside. However, we will not initiate, and truly in the potentiality that I am being shown and that we are shifting into, and that if you are receiving this broadcast, you are in this potentiality as well. Our true new year will begin with the equinox in March. And it will be the window between March 18 and 23. And what I'm so thrilled about is that today was the day that yesterday actually, when I was on the phone with a dear, incredible shamanist and sharing with her about the equinox. And when together she and I said, this is the moment to gather all of the goddesses. This is the moment to bring all of the priestesses together. And the priests, you're welcome. But this is for the goddesses. It is for the divine feminine. And I do challenge those masculine ones that would want to be here. Because this equinox is when our year will begin. And in this gathering, in this rising, I will be honored to be offering the cacao ceremony. We will bring that to you live here. We invite you, and I invite you right now, if you have ever thought of visiting Tosa Blue Mountain, this is the time right now. This is when you're going to want to be here. Because in this potentiality, the January and February experience, and I'm going to show you the Ascended Numerology. If I could find my mouse again, my cursor, forgive me. Let me find it again, guys. Give me 1 second. I am so sorry. Let me just change my trajectory here. I'm going to turn my computer. Is that okay? So that I can see. There it is. Okay, here we are. So this is the Ascended Numerology for this moment right now, for January. And you can see what I was sharing with you is that this is actually a 4-month, and you look at the 4. And one thing I want you to notice is if you gaze at just the chart for January And this one took my breath away because I will only do these charts 2 months in advance. And I do that on behalf of Sedona Magazine of Emergence, who publishes this, one of the people that publishes my column. And if you look at the 4, I want you to now look at the 12 and the 6. You see that dotted line? And you notice how I'm like standing back to look at this myself. And I invite you to do the same thing because this is very dramatic. It's just very, very dramatic that look at the activity. If you were to just kind of put up your hand and look at that section from 6 to 12 on the clock, that is a ridiculous amount of activity concentrated in one area. And what is so powerful is that it's all tied to the 4. So do you see how dramatically that's happening? So in being all tied to the 4, look over at the body and what do you see? Root chakra. Root chakra. This is this entire month. And if you want the full Ascended Numerology, it is at my website, masterladykirra.com. And I invite you to go look at that or or if you have a subscription to Sedona Journal of Emergence, you already have it. But what is so powerful about this month is that it is the 4 plus the infinite. And so this is like density and ascension meeting each other. This is light and dark melding together. This is the magnets coming together. There has never been a greater opportunity, especially at a personal level, because we're at that 12 o'clock hour, to literally, I mean, sincerely have it all. This is that month. And it activates by comforting the root chakra. So let's talk about that a moment, because this is why I want you to listen to my current episode of Expanding Consciousness on jealousy, greed, and competition. Jealousy, greed, and competition are all first chakra issues, but they also remerge in the 3rd chakra and the 2nd. However, at the end of the day, it's about safety. It's, I want to feel safe. I want to feel safe. I want to feel safe. And then looking at all the 5 medicines. What does safety look like in your life? Are you safe physically? Are you safe emotionally? Are you safe mentally? Are you safe spiritually? Because if you can get a yes in all of that going on in your life, then you are the prayer wheel. Then you can hold it and sustain it. Then that is the embodiment of the Yoga of Self-Ascension. This month is miraculous. It is a moment where it's all tied to your root chakra. And remember, what is our root chakra? Well, we actually have 2. And that's the last thing I want to leave you with. You have the root chakra of the physical body found at the base of the spine. And that is screaming from the moment you enter the earth into keep me safe, feed me, clothe me, make me feel comfortable, right? So when we find true safety, it often begins at the basest level, shelter, food. And so I invite you, if this is a month where you have that capacity to share, please contribute to Global Minga. We have 27 tribes sitting on the Amazon starving to death right now, and they are very much in a safety issue. And this is how safety will manifest on our planet. There will be many who are going to need basic safety, root chakra. This month is going to be all about root chakra. It's all going to be tied to the root chakra, which means that if you can find peace, the peace that passeth all understanding is because we let go of the mind and we simply let ourselves feel it. And so to anchor that peace into our lives this month is a radiance that will be supported by the universe and all of your infinite presence. It's not woo-woo, it actually is science. It just invites you to say, you know what? If there was ever a month where maybe a white rose is exactly what the doctor ordered, this is it. It's a month to trust yourself. It's a month to remember who you are and to know happiness is your birthright. If you have been fortunate enough to have a reboot put in front of you right now, then this is that moment. And so it is. I love you so much. Thank you for these 22-ish minutes. They'll be